Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dev Labs. So today in this video we will set up our database connections for our Node.js authentication system using MongoDB and Mongoose. So what is a database? A database is a very crucial step because our authentication system needs to store and retrieve data and retrieve the user's data securely. So that's it's just where we store and retrieve our data. So let's start. First to start, we create a folder. So I'm going to be calling the folder db config. Config stands for configuration. After that, create a file. So I'm going to be naming it db.js. So for us to start, we have to import mongoose. So let's start. Let's get it here. So the mongoose just allows us to define schemas, to create the models and interact with MongoDB. So next what I'm going to be doing is defining the database connection URL. So you're just going to be using the URL, you're just going to be naming it. So this is how we so MongoDB slash this is the MongoDB connection string. So this 000 it just means is the local host IP where MongoDB is running. That's just and it's always 000 four zeros. So after that your then the default MongoDB port. But we're going to be using the port that we used in our saver, which is 1122. So that's what we're going to be using here, 1122 slash. Then the database name we are creating. So I'm going to be calling it registration model or no registration DB. That's much better. Okay. So after that, we're going to be connecting to that we're going to write the code for it to connect to the MongoDB directly. So this is how we start connecting. We're going to be defining an asynchronous function called dbconfig to connect to MongoDB. So this is how we got it. I'm going to be calling it asynchronously. Then your arrow function, the try and catch error, and await. So this mongoose dot connect URL just is just to connect to MongoDB using the URL that we created there. So that's just what this code means. Connect URL dot then. So then afterwards console log it logs the successful message if the connection is successful. So what we're going to write here is connected So MongoDB. So that's just it. While for the error, we're going to just be writing um console. We're going to be writing our error tag as then error dot message, or we can just leave it like that. Okay. Afterwards, we are going to be exporting the database configuration. So this code we just showed here is to connect to the MongoDB. So afterwards, you have to export the database configuration to your module dot export equals to db config. So it just allows us to, it makes us able to reuse this and keep the server clean. So after this, we're going to be putting this in our server. So let's go right to our server, then const db config. Oh yeah. So what we're looking for right now is db config, then slash, exactly. So afterwards, we come over here. So this is just going to help us to be able to connect to the database. So this just allows us to be able to connect. We're importing db config and we're calling it to establish the MongoDB connection before the server even starts. So now, so we're done connecting to MongoDB, we're done with everything about database. So that's how you set up a database connection in Node.js using MongoDB and Mongoose. Now with this setup you just built, our authentication system can now store user data and retrieve the data securely. So in our next video, we will be testing our registration authentication. So we'll just be trying it, and we'll be using Postman. So make sure you like and subscribe, and please hit the bell, hit the subscribe button for more tutorials. Thank you. See you in next class.